forgot how to do this. Is anything working? Like the music's too loud. Hi, it's me. I don't think I've streamed in 2 months. I'm sorry. Like really, I think it's been 2 months today. I had some work travel, lots of projects going on. Okay. Hopefully that audio level's okay. So this week, because I haven't streamed in so long, I'm so behind on Blobz puzzles. So this is Blobzgiving week, I have decided. Things working? Okay, oh, we have heat up, okay. I mean the heat map, not tomatoes. Okay, good. Seems like the microphone's working. Is it true? Microphone's working? Is it true? Microphone's working? Is it true? Microphone's working? Hello? Is it true? Microphone's working? Hello? Is it true? Oh yeah, okay. I don't know if the levels are any good. Hi, it's me. And we're gonna stream, and I'm gonna jump right in. I've got to ease back into this. I haven't done it in a while, so I can't do these like 1,000-hour streams. We're gonna try to do one puzzle, which I've been told is a bit challenging. So we'll see how it goes. I seem to be actively streaming. I sent one thing out, and then move on with our lives. I always have the intention of streaming more, especially now that it's like dark and rainy and cold in Portland and all that stuff. But you know, it's once you haven't done it for a while, you kind of lose the rhythm a little bit. So okay, that looks like me. Yeah, it's like okay. Seems like I can hear me. Let's see. Did that actually work? Maybe. Maybe. Okay, maybe that worked. I don't know. Hi, let's just jump into this puzzle. And let's go over here. And we have a special guest here. Okay, great. We've got a guest here in the corner. We have to move the guest. The guest is over the grid. Let's get my co-host. That's the wrong thing. Where's the co-host? We get the co-host like here? Is that a good spot for the co-host? I'm gonna slightly truncating the edge of the rule scroll bar, but I think we're gonna call that okay. We need to pick a shader. So this is called Cross Stitch by Blobz. I don't remember how anything works. Let's do this. It's a very beautiful grid. Love the look of this grid. It's not a very Blobzy looking grid if I were to just react. Like if I just got this out of the blue, I might think this was like a Willpower or J.W. Sinclair. We'll see if the logic feels Blobzian, but the look of it does not feel, doesn't immediately feel Blobzy to me. Ew, look at this. Does this count as cross stitches? It's just for stitch. Oh, Bowie. Hi, buddy. I'm Bowie sitting. His mom's on the other side of the whole entire world. I'm not impressed with these cross stitches. Get some cool weave, maybe. I feel like maybe something's not working. I don't know. Chat, if anyone's there. Maybe just no one's there. That's cool. How about this? That's something cross-stitchy about that, I would say. All right, let me refresh this, and then we're gonna reset the time, and we'll jump into the puzzle. How's that sound? Are we? I really feel like I'm forgetting something. When I haven't streamed for a while, I feel like I have lost it. I'm not accidentally streaming the audio from that camera, because that would sound horrible. Let me just check the audio one more time. Seems reasonable. Okay. So let's do this puzzle. Let's reset this time. What, how do you do the thing where here, okay. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Digits and cages do not repeat and sum to the given total. Along pink lines, digits from a non-repeating consecutive sequence, that's Rin bands. And along green lines, adjacent digits differ by at least 5, that's German whispers. So it's really just killer cages, Rin bands, and whispers seems to be the whole complement here, right? I think so. Okay, let's get started. Boy, are you ready? Are you ready? Boy's ready for this. Boy, sorry, that's not a very flattering camera angle. It's a little hard to frame you. Okay, so immediately, like consecutive digits that sum to 16 is going to be 7, 8, right? That's our only option there. And 4 digits that sum to 26, I think the link, sorry, pause this. Sorry. Forgive me. Okay, back to the puzzle. Sorry about that. Okay, so we got a 7, 8 because we need sequential digits that sum to 15. Here we need a sequence of digits that sums to 26, which I guess is just going to be 5, 6, 7, 8, right? Like, I don't know how else. That's interesting. And a sequence that sums to 14 is going to be 2, 3, 4, 5. There's just not another way to do that, is there? 5 is always from 1, 2, 3, 4. That means this digit's low, and this digit is a high digit. This digit is either low or it could be 5. No, not sequential 11. This is a German whisper 11. So we need a high and a low that will sum to 11. So 6 can only be with a 1, so it's definitely not a 6. 7 can only be with a 1 or a 2, so only as much as 9. 8 can be with a 3. And 9 can be with a 2. So that seems like our situation. Boy, what do you think? I feel like I'm kind of feel like I'm not thinking about something properly here. What am I forgetting here? This is also low, by the way. We can't have 6 in here. We can't have 1 period because it would have to go with 10. 2 would need a 9. 3 would need an 8. 7, yeah, it just wouldn't work. We just can't get high enough with the whisper restrictions. We have another 1, 2, 3, 4 situation here that is double low, which forces this high. This is going to be low, sorry, this will be low or 5. It's possible that this is 5, so we can kind of hinge from low to high. What to think about that, actually? Just seeing like where the 5s are. I wonder if we're going to be Fistamafelling here. Just wondering about that because we've got, just like looking how things like, maybe we're not Fistamafelling, but there's a relationship between this ring and the digits in the corner, and it is a little suspect. This is always going to be a high and a low digit, except 5, 6 would be allowed going this way, which would make that a 1, and then that would be a 4 in that scenario. If this was a 2-3 flavor. Oh, hello. You had wait, you had to make an account? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you would have to make an account. This is my co-host. Very helpful. Okay, so I was just thinking about this as a 2-3 pair because there's definitely 2-3 in here. So if we did 2-3 this becomes 4-5 and this becomes 2-3. Maybe lower hanging fruit here. Just thinking about that, like what's allowed here and what's allowed. So this is either a 1-4 or a 2-3. And just thinking about that in terms of the Rinvan, kind of makes it tight, but not outrageously tight. It does mean we can see certain digits are just not going to be in play here. I don't know. Let's think about the rest of our cages and then see what we can do. So this cage was not terrifically useful. It could be a 5-6, which would put a 5-6 here. The 5 would have to be here. The 6 would be here. That would be a 1. With the 6 here, that would be a 4. Right? We already said that. It could also be something like this is 9 and this is 2 and this is 1 or something like that. Like it feels like this particular cage has a lot of options, and this particular cage, this can't be very high. This is relative. I don't know if this is the right thing to look at, but just to think through it for a minute of like all the digits that we could potentially allow in there. We obviously can't have an 8 and we can't have a 9. And we can't have a 5. We can't have an 8 and 9 because we're in an 8 cage. We can't have a 5. We can't have a 4 here because that would need another 4. Placing a 6 here, actually that actually is valid. Placing a 7 here makes this a 1 and this a 2, which I think breaks. Because then, yeah, if you put a 7 here, this is a 1. And then by German whisper logic, this is a 2, because 7 can only be next to 1 or 2. And then this 1 needs to be next to something on a Rinband, which would be a 1. So I think that's not able to be a 7. I think a 6, unfortunately, may work, because it could be 6, 2, 1, 3, I think is possible. So the complement of those digits, we also have to be mindful that we're not breaking anything here, but I don't think we actually could. There's a lot of stuff looking at this digit, which I'm very aware of. So the complement of these, so the 1 would need a 7, the 2 would need a 6, the 3 would need a 5, and the 6 would need a 2. Did I do that correctly? 1, 7, 2, 6, 3, 5, 6, 2. And then as far as this way, if this is a 6, this is definitely a 1. And this is a 2 and this is a 3. So that's pretty known. It hits the 2, 3 here, which forces this to be a 4, 5. This may not be the thing really to think about. The 3s are relatively restrictive. The 3 here would put a 5 here, and then this would have to be an 8 or a 9 for the 3 to be happy, but not that big of a deal. If this was a 1, this is a 7, but this is then 6, 8, 9. So I don't know. I don't know that this is really the place to focus. Maybe it is, and I'm just missing the point. We know we have a digit from 2 or 3 here. we may or may not here. We didn't think very hard about this yet. Like if this is a 4, this is definitely a 9. And that makes, yeah, if this is a 4, this can only be a 9. And then this is a 1, and this could only be a 2. So that's very forced to be 1, 2, 4, 9, which would make that 3, 5, and this the 4, 2. Just, I don't know. What do we think about? This gauge just doesn't feel very useful to me. Maybe I'm not giving it enough consideration. It would generally be a low and high digit except for this 5-6 combo, which would be 5, 6, 4, 1 that we've already talked about. That would be a 7, 8. I don't know. 5's a bit restricted in some of these places just due to whisperness. Puts 5 on this ring, but 5 on a... These are all very abbreviated ring bands. This one, a couple that are 4, 3 that are 4. This digit has to be able to be surrounded by 4 different digits. And on a German whisper, there's only 2 digits that allow that. And that's 1 and 9. Because any other digit that we put out here, these are going to be 4 of a flavor, right? They're going to be either 4 high digits or they're going to be 4 low digits. And this will be the inverse of that. So if these are 4 low digits, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. The only thing that could go here is a 9. And that's 4 high digits. The same thing is true. Because 1 is the only digit that is 5 digits away from 4 digits on the other side of the 5. And when we think about German whispers, we think about alternating kind of above and below 5 as we go along. As opposed to Dutch whispers, which nobody likes. Nobody likes a Dutch whisper. We do have, this really wants to not have a 1 in it, I feel. There's lots of people surrounding this digit that really want to eat one of the 1s. Like, for this to be a 1, this has to then be a 2-3 pair, right? And for that 2-3 to work, if it's a 3, that's an 8-9. The 2-3 means this is 1 or 4. So if we put a 2-3 there, this becomes 4-5. There's a 2-3 up here. Similarly, if we try to have, that would mean also we'd have to have 2-3 down here as well, with very similar implications, except we don't, like this 2-3 immediately eats this. We don't really touch that. This is a high-ish digit. These are high-ish digits. With the exception of the 5, they're all high. That's actually another thing to consider is we know there's a 5 on here. That's for sure. And that's the middle of the road. But we can't, one end is going to be, right. One end of this is going to be fully eaten. Meaning like this is fully 1, 2, 3, 4, or it's fully 6, 7, 8, 9. And so this little run of digits is either 2, 3, 4, 5, or it's 5, 6, 7, 8. It can only be one or the other. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, or 5, 6, 7, 8. Which is also a little hard. I mean, that also is under quite a bit of pressure. There's a world in which this is a 5. If this is a 4 and this is a 1, and this is just some high digit. So that's possible. And then 5 gets pushed up here. That's a very reasonable thing to happen. I don't know. I don't know exactly what to think about. Like, there's certain German whisper things we could just think about that are not perhaps the most useful things, but just kind of trying to latch on to some of these slightly longer whispers. Like, this is going to be a bit restrictive because not only can it not have 5, because German whisper can't have 5, it also can't have 4, 5, or 6. So this just is a 1, 2, 3, or a 7, 8, or 9. That 5, 6 puts a 7, 8 here, which really puts a damper on this. Do I need to think about harder about where 5s can be? There's exactly 2 5s in the corners. Because there's the cages, each of these cages have a 5, and we know there's absolutely no 5s on here. So there's going to be, in one of two of these corners will have 5s in them. And we know that they won't be, they'll be a bit restricted like this, which is a bit restricted, actually. Not as restricted as one might like, but feeling very rusty. One thing we know is that the complement of this digit is definitely in the corner. So like the other half of this 1-9 pair is not here. Black Doom, how's it going? Oh, and Bowie has stopped. Bowie doesn't want to be on camera anymore. Bowie, what are you doing? You're over it? Bowie's over it. Why? Why, baby Mia? Okay, so yeah, Bowie's thinking pretty hard about this puzzle. I feel very out of practice. So it's just thinking about, we know there's a 5 on this hula hoop here. That's a true and undisputed fact. We know that this is just a full array of high and low digits. Five is definitely not here. 5 is almost not here. Can this just not be a 5? Could we get rid of this being a 5? 5, 5. Am I not looking hard enough at 5, 5? I'm probably not. Like one thing we talked about, I'm not sure how you've been lurking, Black Doom, is like this is going to, we know there's a 5 on here, of course, because it's not whispery. This is going to set the tone of, if this is a 1, this is 6, 7, 8, 9, and then this is 2, 3, 4, 5, and the inverse of that is true. And so the thing I was just thinking about, which maybe isn't the most useful thinking, is there's no 5 in here, there's no 5 there, there's no 5 there, there's no 5 there. If we knew about this 5, I mean, I could probably think harder about this. I admittedly probably didn't think hard enough about the pressures of this. So do we end up with too many low digits? Is that what's going to happen? Because another way to think about that actually is like there would be a 5 in here, but then the other, we're going to end up with a pair of lows, for example. Which this could never be, like if this was the 9 and say the 5 was here or here, we had a pair of lows. Well, we'd end up with, okay, here's another way to think about that. This may be a little more clearly stated. If this is a 9, then, actually, if this is a 1, okay, that's the problem, right? If this is a 1, these are all the high digits, right? This is 6, 7, 8, 9. Then this is 2, 3, 4, 5. But actually, that makes these from 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we have 6 digits that are from 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that what I'm slowly failing to see? Okay. Right. That the set of 2, 3, 4, 5, we would have 6 digits that were from 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Black Doom. I need a little kick in the pants. Okay, so I want to 9ify that, I believe. Right? Which is going to force lownesses here. It's going to force highness there. It's going to mean there's a 5 in here somewhere and then some highnesses. But these lownesses will be 1, 2, 3, 4. These will be from from this set, actually. They will be from the 5, 6, 7, 8 set. Is there always going to be a digit in here from the 5, 6, 7, 8 set? I think there is, right? This is from 5, 6, 7, 8. Or another way to say it. This is from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 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 And there has to be a digit from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 here, where we have 3 plus 4 equals 7. So there is a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 digit there. So that is all of our 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 digits, right? So there's no 5 here. Like 5 is going to exist somewhere in one of those, I believe. That maybe wasn't a tremendous revelation. These lows, just thinking about our well, okay, one thing I do want to go back to just thinking about this as a 5 for just a minute and just think about what it means, because it means this is definitely a 3, which means this is an 8 or 9, right? But that does allow this to be either a 4 or a 6. So it doesn't, I was wondering if the 5 would like force something major. It doesn't seem to. Does mean we have a digit from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in here, though, right? And these are all from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is that true? Sorry, let me back up on that a little bit. Is there always a digit from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? And these are all from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. So, right, well, okay. One of these is low and one of these is high, I guess is a way to say that in a better way. Because we have 4 of the 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 digits. There's gonna be a low digit in here. There just is. So there's one low digit here, there's a low digit here. There's no low digits in here, so one of these is low. What does that mean? And one of them is high. Is that true? I think that's true. Which is going to make these like alternate in a funny way. Like it means we don't know what the polarities are, but we do know it's going to be kind of like this. I think. I think that's true, right? That these these are going to be the same polarity as this. I think I believe that to be true. These are obviously not 5s. We've got 3 lows already. We've got 4 from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 3 from 6, 7, 8, 9. So I think these are opposite polarity, and I think that like squiggles around the bend a little bit. So whatever, yeah, that's interesting. Okay, great. Now, just thinking about that here, one of these is definitely low. There's a world in which both of these are low. I don't know if I believe that to be true. There's definitely a world in which one of these is high for sure, but there's a world in which both of these are high. We stated that there's definitely a low digit in here. So the 5, 6 is off the table, right? So 5, 6 is no longer a possibility here. So there is a low digit in here. So does that mean 1 is always here? I think it does. Where's 1? Scott 234, how's it going? These digits, there's no low digits in here, certainly. There's no 1 in here because part of our 14 sum. There's no 1 here. There's no 1 in an 11 cage. So this is a 1-4 pair. So we remove the 2, 3 here. Now, the thing about this. Oh, really? Which puzzle was it? Oh no, was it a horrible solve? Did I do a terrible solve? Can you remind me of which puzzle it was? Okay, it was fun. Okay, that's good to know. Well, thanks for joining. And thanks for, oh gosh, I'm always so embarrassed when like setters go back and actually watch the videos of my very clumsy solves. Now I'm very curious which puzzle it was. So I think we think this. I think we think this. This is what I think we think. And I think that we remove the 4 here and here. So we do have a 4 up here now. If that's a 4, it's a 9. And that's 1, 2. Which is a fair amount of pressure. Row 5 can have another digit. Well, let's talk about it. Because we know the other half of this is, there's a 2 or a 3 in here. And it's not 2, because that would need a 9. So it's definitely a 3 with an 8. Which makes this the 2. Oops, that's not how Sudoku works. So now we un-2ify these. So this is a 3-8 pair, I think. From February, it was like 100 years ago. Sir Hamilton, the Ouroboros will see you now. Wait, do I remember? The name is, you would think a name like that would ring a bell. How do I, I probably did a bad job and like didn't, no, here it is. I just want to see the grid. We did some oil and water by Blobz. Oh, that puzzle. Oh, yes. I absolutely remember that puzzle. I don't think it was too embarrassing. Was it too embarrassing? How long did it actually take me? Like 2.5. You know, an hour plus. Not outrageous. Vainly Googling yourself? It's okay. It's reasonable to do that. Well, first of all, welcome. Second of all, thank you for sharing puzzles like this. That one, like, I would have to go back and see what my reaction was. I seem to remember being finding it daunting. I seem to remember being recommended by someone in chat. I'd have to go look. I wonder if I can. I'm like, I have to check Logic Masters. I have certainly done other ska puzzles. Okay, so we got a 3-8 here. Oh, you think you recommended it? Okay, that would make sense. That would make more sense. I apologize. I have such a poor memory for streams. I was realizing, like, I started streaming regularly in 2017, so I don't even know how many hundreds of streams on YouTube there are. Okay, so we un-8ify this. So we do have an 8 in here. Billy, what do you think about it? What do you think about it? Okay, so that's going to put 8 in here, right? Not that that matters to anyone. I don't think anybody cares about that. So as far as implications here, what does it mean? The 3 is 5, 6, and the 11. The reason was, what was the reason? The reason was because we already had 4 digits from the 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 set. And if we did 5, 6 here, we would have 6 digits from the set of 5. Oh, is it a lost puzzle? It's missing from the archives? So that's why I think there's no 5, 6 there, which I think I stand by that. Now, the 3 is kind of interesting because if we put a 3 here, it couldn't be next to an 8. So 3 here would force a 9 here. An 8 would have a 3 here, so this would be a 1 or a 2. So that's not very exciting. A 3 here would have a 2 or a 4. I don't know if this is the way to think about this. An 8 here would have a 7 or a 9. This feels sloppy. I don't know that we really learned anything from that. Well, maybe we did, because one thing about the 3-8 combo, if we put 3 here, this is low, and if we put 8 here, this is low. That is 2 low digits, so that would be our full allowance of low digits here, which would force this to be high, which would be kind of interesting. That would mean there'd be no more low digits allowed down here. We already have 3 low digits in here as it is. That almost feels important. Like whether or not we're going to force a double low down here. But maybe it's not important. I don't know. What else did we learn? So this was great. This unfortunately there's just so much leeway here. Obviously if it's a 4, that's great. But if it's a 1, there's a tremendous amount of leeway. Wait, what are you doing? Is it your close-up? And a 4 here. Oh, interesting. A 4 here is a 3-5, so it's the other half of the 3-5 pair. That's a little bit interesting. That would be all of our low digits. Is this? Yeah, wait a minute. There's no more low digits down here, right? This digit is always. This is never a 1. God, I'm overthinking this. If we put a 1 here, this has to be a 2. Oops. This is definitely a 4. And this is the 1. And the 4 gives us the other, that's a 3-5 pair there. And then this is just going to be something obnoxious. But it does mean that we have no more low digits here. So these do both have to be low digits. So I think, what do I think? I think that means this can't be a 3, right? So this was the 8. This was the 3. Does that logic track? You happy with that? 8 is going to put her a 1 or a 2 here. 3 is going to put a 2 or a 4 there. That is all of our low digits, it would appear. That means pink is high. And that means that green is low. Are we on board with that? That feels like a pretty big thing I just did. That means these are definitely high, right? Because we have all of our low digits and we have our 5. So that means both of these digits are high. And that means this is low. I'm suddenly nervous that I have made a dramatic logical leap that was not justified. The 3-5 seems to put the 5 in here. So we can un5 a 5 that. Say our 5 is here. Did I take a unjustified logical leap? 49 puzzles? Oh my gosh, you've done 49 puzzles this year? That is amazing. There's definitely 4 up here to break up that 3 puzzles. 63 total? Okay. Maybe I need to go on I did my epic Blobz journey of solving every Blobz puzzle, although now I'm behind. I was on track to do every Skojo puzzle, but man, there's some Skojo puzzles that are a kick in the pants. Maybe I should try to do every ska puzzle. Congrats, that's great. That is an excellent first year of setting. I mean, this is just a low thing that isn't a 3, right? But a 4 would push a 9 here. I guess it could be. This we know there wasn't a 4. That is just a 1, 2, 3. Similarly, we know this isn't a 6, so that is a 7, 8, or 9. That is amazing. I have set 0 puzzles ever, to my great shame. This is definitely not a 5. This is high. This is a high digit. Ooh, should I do the gas marathon? I don't know if I'll be up for another puzzle today. I really am going to try. I definitely am going to stream over the next few days. 10 minutes. You will be impressed in my ability to extend a 4x4 puzzle to take an inordinately long amount of time. 5, 6, 7, triple on here. Do not leave. I guess we just know that this, so this is the brother of this digit, but it could still be a 5. I would like to try those. Are these all on Logic Masters? Is everything all published? This digit, we know it's not a 9, which meant that was never a 4 anyway. Doesn't matter. This is a 6, 7, 8, but it's not a 6. It could be a 6 because that could be 1. Never mind. But do you publish on Logic Masters? Like, do you have everything listed? Your full archive there? I can't remember if I logged that other solve there. Not yet. Oh, Logic Masters. Can this be a 1? Okay, I think we gotta, like, I'm definitely off track a little bit. It felt like a breakthrough to get this ring, which is kind of interesting. I mean, it's sort of interesting just in terms of like Fistomafelness, right? We still know we have to get some 5s in the corner. seems to be annoying. Like I of course appreciate it when puzzles are on Logic Masters, but the site is so clunky. I can only imagine it is not great fun to publish puzzles there. I don't think we learned anything new. I don't know if the Pistomafel ring is required. It looks really like there's a couple of things we just know. Like we know there's definitely 5 on the Pistomafel ring. There's exactly 2 5s on the Pistomafel ring. That's a thing we know. I don't know if we need that. We may not need it. You know there's a 3 in here. Okay, I think I'm just being silly and kind of off track. We could probably think about polarity a little bit, just because we've already... Yeah, okay, this is good. We already have 3 high digits in here, right? Interesting. Okay, this is a 5. We already have 3 high digits. There's definitely a high digit here. So this is either a low digit or a 5, but a low digit couldn't be next to a high digit on a Rinband, so that has to be the 5. So that means this is not where one of our Pistomafel 5s is. That rules 5 out of here, which places 5 here, 3 here. Really hope that's correct. It would be a bummer if it wasn't. That was a pleasant little, that was fun. There's a high and a low here. It's going to be all of our highs. This is a sequence of low digits. The high digit here could be 9, annoyingly. 8. I do need an 8 down here. There's probably more of that kind of logic. I think there's definitely like a range of complexity when it comes to thinking about Pistomafel. I think about it in a very naive way, which is just sort of like something like this, where there's like some very clearly represented sets of digits that are already constrained just by the nature of the clues, right? Like we're already constrained here by the German Whisper, so we know there's no 5s. And the combination of the Rinband cage here, we already know there's just 1 5 each. So I do stuff like that. When it comes to doing like complex sets, like building sets and subtracting, you know, removing parts of sets, like I'm horrible at that. Not very good at that. We can see that this is where one of our 5s is though, because it just is. Not by Pistomafel logic, just by Sudoku logic. There is a 5 here. So one of our Pistomafel 5s is in this corner. It's definitely not there. But I don't know that that's super helpful at this moment. That means the other one is either it's here or it's here. Kind of wants to be here. In fact, it is. It is there. Because 5's in here, 5's here, the 5 is here, it's not there. So the 5 is here, it's in the Pistomafel corner. So that doesn't tell us very much, except that there's no 5 here, I guess is the one thing we have sort of learned. We've already have our 5s in the corner. So there's no 5 in there, there's no 5 there, there's no 5 there, there's no 5 there. This is a 5, I think. Just from thinking about this. There's no 5 there, no 5 on a Whisper. We've pushed the 5 there. 5's not low, 5's not high, 5's not low. 5, this is a 5. This can't be a 4, so this is a 6, which is high. That's not 6. This is our remaining high digit, so this is low. This This is only a 2 or a 4. So I mean, it's obviously not a 6. That was a non-statement I was about to make. 6. I'm sure there's more going on there that I'm failing to express. Do we know? I feel like we should know this. Yeah, these are both low. Now, that's all of our low digits. So both of these are high, in fact. And is this going to be forced to be a 5 because it can't be next to another high? Kind of feels that way, huh? This is going to be from 7, 8, 9 because it can't be a 6. This is 1, 2, or 3. That could be a 6 with a 5. Just wondering, like this, that's a place where this is either high or it's a 5, I guess is a way to express that. What do we have here? Can this escape? It's going to be high digits. There's no 5. 5 is definitely here or here. But I think it could be either. I don't know. There's a 7, 8, 9 triple, which is still fine with these. This is not that restricted yet. Just not a 2. Screaming Ice Cube, how's it going? Uh-oh. Is it oh, yes. We probably should, right? So these are high people. Oh, gosh. This is just known. We know this. I talked about this and then just didn't do it. This is just a 6. Because it's the only high digit that is next to 5. So that's not. So that's a 5, 7 pair. We have all our low digits, so this is just 9, right? Okay, thanks for pointing me there. Hello. That unninifies this, which is not a big deal because it's just next to a 1. That means this can be anything on Earth. It can be anything it wants to be. This we didn't really settle. It pulls the 7 out of here, so this is a 6, 8 pair, which pulls the 8 out of here. If this was a 7, this would have to be a 1, 2, which at the moment is annoyingly allowed. This is a low digit. It does mean both of these are high. This actually could be a 4. I think even that could be a 4. Whoops, that's not the color high is. It means these are one of these is high and one of these is low. Blue is a very weird. Yes, I agree with you. Okay, one of these is high and one of these is low. Do we have a count that helps us? I feel like I should know some things. Shouldn't I know some things? Dude, can we do this? I liked this logic. I thought that was really cool, where we kind of like forced double lows. I'm wondering if there's something similar here. Like a high digit here, which would just be 6, would force a 1 here. And then this would be a 2, and then this would have to be a low digit, right? That doesn't work. So let's go through that again. If this is a 6, this is definitely a 1 just by Whisper's logic, and that would be all of our low digits. But if this is a 6, then this is definitely a 2. And this was the 1, so this would be the 3. So we'd have too many low digits. So this is low. This is not low. It could still be 5, which maybe it has to be. Depends on this. One of these is 5. Anyway, it does mean this is high, and it does mean something. Could be a 6. More secrets in column 1? Probably. Oh, thanks for the link. I probably won't jump into it on stream today. I think I'm probably just gonna do this one puzzle. It takes me a while when I haven't streamed for a while. I gotta get back into like, this is how my brain feels right now. Just so. Bowie, can we you okay? There we go. Okay, how's that? Is that better? Is that better? Okay. A good warm-up puzzle? That sounds great. That's what I could use. Okay, so you're probably right that there's more secrets here. We have a high digit to place. It's a 6. We've got to place a 6. Oh, well, that's interesting. Right. There's no 6s here. That means there's a 6 in here somewhere, which just means that this is 8 and this is 6. And it means, were we to make this a 6, this would definitely be a 1. I don't know how I feel about that emotionally. We did unsixify this. Ring that bell. I never asked for this thing. I'm bad at being an online personality in general. There's no 8 here. There's still a possibility of being a 6 with a double 1, which just sounds silly. Now, we did unsixify this. That's a 5-7 pair, so we do get a 6 here, which is good news. We feel certain that this is not a 5, right? So this is just part of a 7-8 pair across this world. So 5 is down here. This 5-7 also sees this. This was 6. That would have to be a double 1. Were there more secrets here that we didn't fully discuss? What are we still missing? We do have our 6 floating around, which isn't here. Right. This is not 5 or 6 or 7, 8 or 9. So this is a low digit. And it's not a 3. It could be a 4 with a 5. Otherwise, this would be a low party. The 6 is down here. We do have another low digit to place. Right. This is not low. We're all lowed out. This is a high digit. It's from a 7, 9. So that's not a 6. So this is the 6. So 6 is going to end up in this neighborhood somewhere here. It's not there. 6 seems to not exist in this cage because it would be silly. It would have to go with the 5, which isn't allowed in the whisper. 7 to 11. Blobz, by the way, really like this interaction. Really interesting. Bowie, where'd you go, buddy? Oh, we can see right up the nose. Really like this interaction. Like this kind of thing. I'm such a sucker for this kind of thing. Like the way the pressure of this. That's not just the killer cage or the Rin band, but it's also like the shape of it. Like really interesting. Okay, but we had some breakthrough down here, didn't we? Then I distracted myself with praise for Blobz. Right, the 6. I think we just want to put a 6 here. That's what I think I want to do. 6 can't be next to the 5, so this is 7, so that is high. We know there's a high digit here. Well, of course, this is going to be a low-high pair because that's how terminal whispers work. This is low. Not 3. Could be the 4 with the 9. The low. We're running low on lows, right? What have the 7, 9? Just trying to. I don't know. Is that a 5? Who can say? Where is the 5? Where are all the other 5s in this puzzle? That's not a 7. That is a. It's just a 6, 7, 8, 9, right? But there's a high digit here. And this is the 6. because there's a high digit here and these high digits, that'll all be from 7, 8, 9. So that is the 6. And this cannot be 7, so this is a 5. So that is our second Fistamafel corner 5 placed. This will be the, well, maybe that's our first one placed actually. So that is a 9, which is not cool for anybody. That is an 8, which allows all of those. That is a 7, which disallows the 3, places an 8, a 7, which is a 1, which is okay. We un-7ify those, which seems okay. We un-8ify this. This is the other half of the 7-8 pair. Sorry, the 5-7 pair with the 5 and the 7, and the 7 and the 5. All our 5s need to be grayed. All our 7s need to be oranged. We seem to end up with a 6 and a 2, which so far feels very possible that I made some grave error a long time ago. No 2s here. Cutting 2 out of here also cuts the 3 out, which places the 3, which forces the 9, un-3ifies that. That forces a 7, which un-4ifies. Fourifies? Fourified. What is our high digit here? It's definitely 6. And it's got to go with a 1. This then must be part of like a 2, 3, 4 sequence, right? No 2 there, but it's got to have a 3 on it. If we put the 3 here, this is a 2, 4, and the rim band's broken. So this is not a 3, which we knew that anyway. There's a 3, 4 pair there. This is a 2. This little rim band is a 3, 4 rim band. 4 goes nicely with that. No 4 there. No 4s there. That 1, 2, 3 triple. But that's okay. One of these is going to be the 4. Okay. Anywho, this is not a 4 because that can't be a 9. So that is the 1. That is the 4. The 4 can't be next to a 3, so this is the 5. Which is exciting. That does place a 5 here, so this is a 4. Which is exciting as well. 1 there, 2 there, which doesn't seem to put any pressure on the 8, 9. We do remove the 2 from here, which removes the 9 from here, which gives us a 3, 8 pair to force a 9 here and an 8 here. No 1 there, but 2 and 3 is okay. There, 3, 4. This 6 needs to be next to not a 7, so that's another 5. There's probably, it feels like I probably could have made some other cool Fistamafel conclusions based on just like the highnesses and lownesses. It doesn't like, obviously it doesn't feel necessary because we've made it this far in the puzzle, but like just knowing that we're kind of like pushed high and pushed low and we alternate, like feels like maybe we could have made a few more conclusions. But I think the Fistamafel ring, it did help us at least think about the 5s. I don't know, again, I don't know if it was really necessary. We do have to do a 4-9 here on this rim band, which seems happy. Oh, I got scared for a second. I thought I was in my mind this was a rim band and we'd broken the puzzle. It would have been a sad story. That is a 3, that is a 4. That's not the 4, so this is the 4. The 2 there next to the 8 is no problem. So this is still 7 or 8, I guess. We don't know yet, it would seem. This is not high, so this is low, so this is high. It's got to be from 7, 8, and it sees a 7, so this is 8, 7, 3, 8. That's the 9. And we are missing a low digit here known as 2, which has to be sequential with 1 or 3. Well, oh, there's a 3 here. Okay. It felt like that should have been resolved. I just wasn't seeing it. That's 3. We get a 1, 2 pair there. This 8 is not interesting. Okay, that's cute. This 1, 2 just forces a 3 there, but that's an 8, so it's okay. 7 can be next to a 2. Here, a 1, 2, a 1, a 2. That all seems happy. Very exciting to see what I've broken, like what last minute horrible mistake I've made. Of course, have to color these things. It's critical. It's part of the process. Is that gray? Doesn't seem gray. Okay, so what are we doing? These are both high, right? This is a 7, 9 pair. 9 here, 7 here. That makes this low, and it has to be a 3, which is okay. This has to be a 6 or an 8. It's an 8, so those are highified, lowified, highified, and that means we are left with some naked singles, some hot naked singles. Right? And then last thing, that's funny. This is, that is really interesting. I don't know if that is like intended. It probably wasn't, because we could have seen this before. But I'm pretty sure this is the very first thing I put in the puzzle. I really like that. I mean, maybe I'm wrong about that. I think it was. I think the very first pencil mark was this. So I like that, at least for my solve, it's the final piece. Wow, almost exactly 1 hour. Blobz, that was really, I really enjoyed that. No, okay, back to my initial, thank you. Back to my initial statement of there's something about this grid that didn't immediately strike me as Blobzian. And in fact, sort of struck me as Willpowerzian, or really J.W. Sinclairian. Like that, there's something about this that looks very Sinclairian. But in terms of the logic, was it Blobzian logic? I think so. Like this, so much of what happened hinged on this relationship, which I love stuff like this. Like German whispers are among my favorite constraints. Rinbands are not one of my favorites, but Rinbands interacting with things like this is a, I mean, it's also just a beautiful grid, but this particular spot, which is like, it looks like the middle of a dream catcher or something. Like it draws your eye immediately, and it's the first thing to think about. It's just a nice entrance to the puzzle. I really did like these sort of forced Rinbands. Like that was, in fact, that's something that you know, you often the point of a Rinband is like all of the logic that you normally need to do on a Rinband, right? Is like, okay, based on this, oh, there's a 1 on it, it's going to be forced low, or there's a 9 on it, it's going to be forced high. We didn't really do any of that. Like these Rinbands were the 4-cell Rinbands were basically just given to us in terms of we knew, like these, we knew immediately what they were. This was one of 2 possibilities, and all of these were effectively Kropke dots. So like the normal kind of logic you'd expect from a Rinband puzzle of like, again, like, oh, there's a 9 on it, or there's a 1 on it, it's going to be pulled hard one over direction. We really didn't have to deal with very much. Now, one place that it was pretty important, I think, that maybe elevates it, the place where they really became interesting were like these places of like 5 being kind of a hinge digit to get when you've got a Kropke or a 2-cell Rinband. Like, how are you going to connect high to low? And you need a 5 to connect high to low. And so we definitely use that logic here and there. Juggler, how's it going? I know I have not streamed in 2 months. And also, I'm very sad to say that I probably was just about to stop the stream, which I apologize for. This is me trying to get back into streaming. Oh, okay. Well, I don't want to disappoint anyone. Okay, maybe I want to do one more puzzle. It is Blobzgiving after all. And by that, I mean, Blobz keeps giving me puzzles, and I keep getting behind on them. So, should we do one more Blobzgiving puzzle? Let's do it. Okay, one more Blobzgiving puzzle. This puzzle was amazing, Blobz. I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed like the interplay of rules here. But I'd have to really reflect on. Is this a Blobzian puzzle? I don't know. Okay, so let's hop back to the Blobz queue. And gosh, so behind. But there is this latest on, oh boy. This is the kind of puzzle, let's jump into this. This is the kind of puzzle that when I first started solving, this is the kind of puzzle that gave me anxiety, because basically anything with dense killer cages, there was someone who did this all the time. Maybe it's Blobz. I can't remember. No, maybe it's Skojo. Like, because when you're... One, I'm terrible on-stream arithmetic, just bad at it. But two, I think when you're first starting solving and you just don't have the kind of like mental rule of thumb of like, this is 1, 2, 3. Like, without having to think about it, puzzles like this they were so distressing to me, because I didn't, eventually you just build this kind of vocabulary where you're just like, oh, I know what needs to happen here. Now I say that and I'm gonna mess up, but it takes a while. It's two things. One, there's everything's available to you, but I think once you, like, especially with this kind of puzzle, you get a foothold so fast if you have just the mental, like, oh, I know what a 7 is. I know what a 24 is. I know what a 6 is, right? Like, that just becomes, you don't have to do the arithmetic in your head. You just know what it is. And that is a thing that takes a little while to build. So do we have any other extremely... Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. Is there a reflection rule? I should probably read the rules. Let's read the rules, shall we? Digits do not repeat along the marked diagonal. Cells reflected... Oh. Thank you, Juggler, for by indirectly encouraging me to actually read the rules. I was so caught up in talking about cage logic. Like, for example, I've been trying to get Winna Lu of New York Times Connections fame, like, lure her in to Sudoku for a couple of years now. And at first she was like, she and I went to grad school together. We used to solve crosswords all the time. And she was like so anti-Sudoku. And then like she kind of softened and she started doing normal Sudoku puzzles. And then very recently she started doing a few like kind of whatever, not even gas, like very introductory variant Sudoku puzzles. And so I've been trying to pull her in. But one of the things I had to warn her is like, kind of don't start with puzzles like this because you just don't have the arithmetic like shorthand. Anyway, cells reflected across the marked diagonal share the same parity. Digits in cages do not repeat and sum to the given total. So that means some interesting things. Like that means that these must share the same parity. And yeah, but Juggler, I can't be bothered to read the rules. In fact, well, actually, my actual preference is to carefully read the rules and then completely forget about one of them, which I'm notorious at with Skojo puzzles, where I just forget some specific critical part of the rule. Anyway, that means these must be the same parity. And in this case, when we refer to parity, we're referring to evenness or oddness, I believe. So we're going to do this and we're going to place our 1, which also is going to sort of devour the 1 from the diagonal. So now we know that 1s are not going to appear in that position on the diagonal anymore. It also means that the composition of this, which is two odds and an even, we also have to make 20 with 2 odds and an even. So for example, 974. Isamuk, how's it going? Thanks for the raid. How was your stream? You're just in time for me to clumsily start this Blobz puzzle and fail to read the rules. Okay, so we know that this is. Should we start marking parity? See, here's the real question though on how do we mark this? Yeah, I was about to say, how are we gonna think about color here? Because a normal human being would say that evens are blue, because that's what a normal, well-regulated person would be. I haven't streamed in 2 months, Isamuk, so it's my. I don't know why. I feel like every time I say your nickname, I pronounce it differently. Isamuk, Isamuk. So here's the thing, though. If this was an oil and water puzzle, these would be orange, which is disgusting. This is disgusting, but that's the standard coloring for oil water puzzles. I'm gonna say we don't do that, and I'm gonna say we like violate oil water rules. Is that fair? Can we do that? Isaiah instead of Isaac. I should just start giving people names. My maternal grandfather just gave all of his grandchildren his own names and also didn't acknowledge our last names and used his. So his name was Patrick Eugene Highland, and he named me, totally separately from what my parents named me. He decided my name was Zachary Highland. So maybe I should just start doing that. In fact, I have started doing that. I have a new great niece who I have named Matilda. And her real name is not relevant. Okay, sorry. What do we know about these? We know we have 2 odds and an even here, and this is going to be 2 odds and an even. This is 2 odds and an even. This is 2 odds and an even. I'm just curious. I was looking for something that would like does she have magic? She surely will. She's great. It's true. It's pretty weird that my little sister is a grandma, but we just won't talk about that part. Okay, so Juggler says, right, interesting. So in thinking about coloring the diagonal, we know how these things get made. And we know that if we put an odd digit here, these are gonna match, meaning these will always turn out to be even. If this is 2 odds, it's gonna sum to even. If it's 2 evens, it will sum to even. This is always even. And so if this is an even digit and I put an odd here, we're gonna have a bad time, right? Like, so on this little bird wing here, this little jet stream we've got, the parity of this digit has to match the parity of the box, I believe. Is that a fair statement? Are we comfortable? Is everyone comfortable with that logic? Because these are always going to cancel each other out. Oh, that makes way more sense. But I feel like I accidentally called you Isaac once. But I know you from aren't your puzzles always Isamuk? Or Izamuk? I'm so bad at this. I'm bad at, but Bowie's good at this. Bowie's a good co-host. I do honestly sometimes struggle to like maintain everyone's. I'm just kind of bad at that actually. Okay, everybody says we're comfortable. I like this. I think this seems good. So we have our little jet stream here, and we know that there's no repeats. So these are all. These are forced, right? Like this. That is all of our even digits already taken. And it also means that this one is forced to be odd. It's just the leftover, the oddity. It means that we know that none of these are 1, which is kind of interesting. Is it? I don't know. Is that interesting? For a 9 cage, the 1's not here. But I think we could still have Can you actually? Three odd digits can't add to 9, can they? It's not a thing that can happen? No, of course they can. It can be 5, 3, 1. That adds to exactly 9, turns out. Wait, row, oh, okay. Wait, yeah, okay. Let's get back on it. So row 1, column 9. So we did talk about that. So we got that. Oh, Bowie, where'd you go? Yeah, Bowie's my co-host today. Really helping with the solve. So, I just wanted to think about, so we do have a 2-4 pair here. I just wanted to think about our other evens. Like if these were the evens, it would be 6 plus 8, which would be 14, and then this would be a 5. So that, it seems like a thing that could be allowed. Who else wants to do cool reflection stuff? That's not right. Having trouble visualizing this reflection. Okay, anyway, what are we doing here? We probably want to think about some stuff, like just eyeballing these totals to see if any of them seem outrageous to me. But I don't think these totals seem too outrageous to me. This seemed a little bit interesting. I prefer not to like outright help. You can definitely tell me what to look like, and I think I have the heat map on, so you can actually be pretty explicit with it. So yeah, like just telling me like, hey, let's look around over here. I'm all for that. Ooh, with entropy, like reflected entropy. Well, I haven't done much of that before, or that kind of logic of reflected. I feel like there's some setter that I've done a lot of reflected kind of thinking from. Okay, sorry. Screaming Ice Cube says we need to think about, where were we doing? We were row 5, column 2. It was these people, right? Like this to this that we wanted. We wanted to think about this situation. So it does mean we have 2 odds and an even summing to 16. But there's room there, right? We've got room to do this. It could be 169 or something. The thing I did want to think about briefly is just like the leftovers here, not having 1, 2, 3 in here means that our minimum sum is 4, 5, 6, which is already 15, but I guess there's an extra degree of freedom there, which is maybe not that helpful. This is 2, that would be a 7, 9. Ooh, yeah. Okay, great. Let's think about this. Oh, interesting. Right, these little headphones are reflected. We've got to reflect our headphones. So we still have we either have a even pair or we have an odd pair between these two, right? And the even pair is definitely a 6-8 pair, right? So, which would make one of these 12s have an 8 in it. So just like if this was the even pair, it would be 6, 8. So one of these would have an 8 And then the remaining digits would be, in the case of the 6, we'd have to sum to 6. So in the case of the 8, we would definitely have a 1, 3, and these would both be odd. And in the case of the 6, I guess we'd have a 1, 5, and those would both be odd. If this was odd, so in that case, if these are even, these are both odd. Is that true? Is that a true statement? Or is there another way to do that? Yeah, okay, so let's think a little more about the 6-8 pair. So the 6-8 pair pushes, right, the 8s, that forces these to be odd people. And this one becomes a 5-1, and this one becomes a, wow, that is crazy. Whoa, okay, that is really cool. If this is a 6-8 pair, this is one of these is an 8. So we need 4 remaining. The only way we can make 4 in 2 digits is a 1, 3. So that forces both these to be odds. And one of these is a 6. We have to make a 6 with only odd digits, which is 5, 1. Which that means there's a 1 in both of these have a 1, which totally removes our ability to have 1s here. Oh, wait, maybe this isn't the right logic. I felt like it was. Maybe I'm wrong. Shoot, maybe we can still have a 1 in here. Never mind, maybe my logic was not cool. Is that not the right reasoning? Oh, really? It works even with the diagonal? I kind of wondered about that. Like if I forgot the diagonal parity part, if it would actually be solvable. Okay, I realize I may be off track, but now I'm interested in this because it does. But actually, I think it is possible to have a 1 here and then like a 9, 4 or something. So never mind. So what would that leave here? That would mean we needed 3 odd digits to sum to 19, which would be like 7, 9, 3. This would be 7, 9, 3. This would be 5. These digits would have to sum to 4. Should make those odd. Gosh, that one logic. I'm sorry. I realize I'm being very slow here. With the 6-8. Humanable. That's interesting. Did you run that through some, what is that checker software? Okay, I'm sorry. So, right, we're thinking about box 4 and box 8. So if we did this, then we definitely know that this, for example, needs to sum to either 4 or 6. So that would be double odd. We'd have 2 odds here. What are you going to be? This is never a 2, by the way. Sorry, I'm distracting myself, but we do that. These are double odds. This is odd. We'd have 2 odds in here. We'd have 2 odds remaining. Oh, I see. Cool. Okay, right. Good grief. Okay, I'm just making things complicated here. We know. Okay, thank you for holding my hand along here. I'm being very slow. We have some sums here, right? We know that this is 36, right? So we've got a sum to 9 here, and we know that this is, gosh, both of these are 36. Both of these must sum to 9. Interesting. Both of these must sum to 9. And we were saying that either this is 6 or 4. Like if it was 4, that one's, gosh, I'm sorry. I realize I'm being very slow on this. This. I don't know why, but this doesn't feel like where my brain wants to go. And I'm struggling with it because of that. But we have the 36, so this must be 9 and this must be 9. So these must sum to 9. And if we do that, then we will have subtracted one side of these would be 6 and 1 is 4. So there's a total of 10, right? From the 18. So these would have to sum to 8 and this would have to be a 10. Is that where we're landing here? Okay, that is very cool. I have to say, I think that is good logic. I think that is totally sound logic. Absolutely sound logic. I have to say, that doesn't feel very Blobzy to me. Maybe I'm 100% wrong. Maybe Blobz will say like, no, that is absolutely the intended path. You're outrageous if you think it's not. It's cool. That is cool logic for sure. And it actually, you know, looking at it does seem quite intentional. Just somehow doesn't feel very Blobzy to me. But anyway, that means, so just to restate that, the total here is 18 and we would have subtracted 10. So these would have to sum to 8, but this is an 18 cage and that would have meant this had to be a 10. So that means these are the evens. That means these are the odds. And that means this is a 6-8 pair, which comes to 14, which does place the 5 here. And now, what do we think about this? I highlight the 2 12 cages and the 18 cage. We also know the sum of those 3 cages. This whole monster, this whole nightmare, this is an extra bird. Like we've got these baby birds and then we have a macro bird here. But let's think about this for just a second. Just in terms of the implications of like losing the 5 here. There's no 9 in the 9 cage, right? So one of these is absolutely going to be the 9. And to do that, that means that one of these is going to have to be a 1-2 pair, right? So one of these is for sure a 1-2 pair, which means one of these is for sure a 6, right? So these are even. Is that true? Just to restate that, there's going to be a 9 here. There's going to be the remainder is going to be 3. The total here was 9, so one of these is going to be a 6, and it's going to be even. So one of these, and because that logic applies either way, so one of these is a 6, so this is not a 6. Oh, see, that's the kind of thing that I'm extra bad at. That very thing of, I was just talking about this in the previous puzzle, of like overlapping sets and then kind of like trying to remove, like to understand. I'm just bad at sets, I guess. To try to like, you know, make a statement about you know, having a total here and then pulling things out of the total. But I think a simpler thing, because we know that there's a 6 in here, the remaining digits must sum to 12. And the only way we're going to get to 12 with 2 even digits, I think, is a 8, 4, right? Because, did I do that right? Sorry. We need to sum to, yeah, right? There's not a 2 in here. Because if it was a 2 and a 6, that would only be an 8, and we'd have to have a 10. So there's no 2 in here. So these are 6, 8, 4. One of these is definitely the 6, right? Wait, these aren't evens? What did I do? Did I break something horribly? Probably. You think these are not evens? Okay, let me say that logic again, because maybe I just said it wrong. There's no 9 in the 9 cage, right? That would be a silly thing to do. So one of these is a 9 for sure, right? Can we agree on that? Oh, sorry, let me put the 2 and 6 back there and we'll talk about this. One of these is definitely a 9, right? And that means this is definitely a 1-2 pair. Am I wrong about that? One of these is a 1-2 pair, right? And so because one of these is a 1-2 pair, because this is a 9, one of these is a 6 for sure, right? And so there's no 6 in here. And then there's no 2 in here, because 2 plus 6 would be 8, and the other digit would have to be 10. So now we don't have this. And we know that this is from 4, 6, 8, and that this is an even reflection. Are we happy with that? It also means that because one of these is going to be a 1-3 pair, because it's going to be 9 and 2 odd, sorry, 1-2. It's a 1-2 pair, that we have like split parity in here. So we also know that we have split parity in here, right? I don't know if that's immediately useful. I mean, it does mean we know there's an even digit here, and we know there's an even digit here, and we know there's an even digit here. So there's only 1 even digit here and 2 odd digits. Did I not think hard enough about this? This 4, 8, did I not think hard enough? Oh, there's an 8 in here. We already have a 7, 8, 9, so this is not an 8. And what are our other options here? So one side is absolutely a 6, right? 8 is a problematic. Yeah, that is true, right? 8 is problematic for 2 reasons. 1, 8 can't be here because of this. But also this sums to 9, right? Because of this. I'm so good at forgetting things. Oh, an embarrassment. Okay, you are all very patient and lovely as usual, and I'm an embarrassment. So we remove our 8s here. So we get another digit, which is very exciting. We know one of these is the 1-2 pair. One of these is a 1-2 pair with a 6. So what is the other fellow over here, the other odd digit here? Yeah, right. This isn't a 3. It's not a 3, because if this was a 3, then this would have to sum to 9, but this sums to 9. So this is a 9-7 pair, right? And this is the 3. And now we have a 9-7 pair here as well. And on the side that is, that's a little bit annoying. Anyway, on the side with the 9, we know it's a 1-2 always. On the side with the 1-2-6, and that means the other side has a 4 here. And that means the 7 needs a 5, but it's not 1, 4, it's 2, 3. So the 7 side has a 2, 3, and the 9 side has a 1, 2. Is that a thing we can agree on? The 7 side has a 2, 3, and the 9 side has a 1, 2. Are we happy here? One of these is 3. So what does that mean? One side is 2, 3, 4 summing to 9. And one side is 1, 2, 6 summing to 9. Now, is that going to cause heartache? There's a 2 in both of these, right? That's a thing that I said, right? That both of these have a 2. Is that a thing I said? Oh yeah, I need to. Oh gosh, I'm so out of the loop. I feel bad. I deeply appreciate every aspect of this community of people. Like, everyone is so kind and patient when I solve these puzzles. Everyone shares their amazing puzzles, and I'm so bad at participating. Yes, I should actually do it. Heat is working, it's just not in tomato mode. Or did it break? Did heat break? Uh-oh. Did we break heat? I haven't worked on heat like all year. Did I break heat? That'd be sad. What an amazing thing if heat just broke right now. No, it's working. Okay, I refreshed it. I need to rewrite heat. I don't want to. I don't feel like Bowie. Can we work on heat? Do you want to work on heat? Answer's no. Bowie doesn't want to do it. Doesn't want to do it. Okay. Sorry. What were we talking about? We were talking about these 2s. We're talking about what that meant for the world. It was very hot down here. Things are getting very hot. Okay. Let's talk about let's talk about what's going on here. What is going on here, everybody? Oh, okay. Right. Okay, gosh, just take my logic one step further. We were talking about, there's definitely 2 here, there's definitely 2 here. The thing I was trying to talk about earlier with the 1s, which was actually not true, well, that was if these were even, which they weren't, is how it would cram things in here. But 2s are ruled out of this little inverse bird, meaning 2's definitely in here. Now, 2 is not there. What does that mean? It means 2 is in this box somewhere, or in this cage somewhere. So then we need 2 digits that sum to 12. So not a 6, is that right? Because there's a 2 in here. If there was a 6, we would also need I guess I'm trying to say there's no 6 in here, right? Because if there was a 6 in here with the 2, that would be 8, and then we would need another 6. So there's no 6 in here. So 6 is up here, I think. And then, oh gosh, what am I? Okay, there's lots of heat. There's lots of heat happening. So there's no 6. Now, this parity has to match. So if this is 2, then this is... Oh, we don't have enough. There's no 6 in here, and 8's not in here. So these can't all be even. So these are odds. I don't know if that was the way I was supposed to arrive at this, but I think that's I think this is my conclusion. That's the way you got there. Okay, that sounds good. I am, oh boy, I'm good at being distracted. If I'm good at one thing and one thing only, it's getting distracted on stream. Oh my gosh, the heat everywhere. 2 plus 4 plus 6, which is not 14. That's true. Okay, yes, yes. For some reason, I was not recognizing that the 8 wasn't in there, which is very silly. Now, for the 17, because this is odd, well, these obviously have to match no matter what, right? They would just have to. And so if they were even, it'd be 4, 6 with the 7. If they were odd, well, wait, what's going on over here, by the way? We need 2 odd digits that sum to 12, which is either 9, 3, or 5, 7. Definitely not a 1. What's the 1? We know the 1 is not on one side or the other of this. The heat map. Well, keep in mind, I'm only seeing the heat map when I look over at this screen. The heat map is not on my screen. I could change back to the tomatoes if that's better. But okay. Okay, I have to get my own. I felt like it was like a heat zombie for a second, where I was just looking wherever it told me to. So let me try to like regain some form of human agency. And like one thing, I just want to think about 8s for just a second, because 8s are around. I don't know if that really matters. I mean, we did talk about this a little bit, right? That's a little annoying. In box 7, right? So let's think about this a little bit. So it's a similar thing where we know these are buddies and we know these are buddies, but we also just know the sum of this, right? Do we care about that yet? I'm tempted to care about it for just a second and say that it's what? I mean, this is a very small number, is it not? What is this number? So, these must sum to 6, and they don't have a 2. Is that true? For some reason, I feel paralyzed by mathematics. But 14 plus 17 is 31, plus 8 is 39. We have 6 left, but we don't have 4, 2, so it's a 1, 5. Is that a thing we're comfortable saying? So this dove gives us the 4, 6 here for 10, and 9 there, and 7 there. And then the remainder here is the, no, what did I do? I did it wrong. No, wait, I just said the wrong thing. I said we have 4, 6 to make this 7. And then this is a 9, 3 to be 12 plus the 2. I don't know why I just put the wrong number in there. You know, 4 plus 6 plus 9, as everyone knows, equals 17. I don't see what the problem is. We do get the 7 placed here, which does force this to be odd, right? Because parity is reflected. And a 9 here. Oh, this is huge, right? This is gonna. Okay, and we have to deal with the implications of this, and I'm not really emotionally ready for it. It means that this will be even and this will be odd, is a thing that it means. It also means that this is the 1, 2 pair, so there's no 3 here, and the 1, 2 pair goes with the 6. The 4 goes with the 2, 3 pair that doesn't have a 1, right? That's 2, that's 4. I feel like I'm gonna make a mistake in here, but I'm pretty sure this was, because this was 2, 3, 4 equals 9. The 3 forces that. So we get our parity here with this is the 2 and this is the 1. Maybe we should have known that. Did we know that actually? That's not the right parity. We get the 6, the 4, the 5, the 1, the 3, the 9. That's very exciting. Oops. Nope. What did I break? I did that backwards. That's the 9. That's the 3. We get some stuff going on here. We at least get one wing of, that's this, right? This parity. That was exciting. Oh, Juggler, thanks for joining. I appreciate you stopping by. Okay, so we know the makeup of this, do we not? That it's just 3, 4, 5. And that's the 5, the 3, and the 4. And that, this has asymmetrical parity, which suddenly is making me uncomfortable. So, okay, we'll get up. Okay, wait, right, yes. We'll get there. Let's just do this one first. So this reflects here, making this even. This reflects here, making these odd. The 9 must be here, right? The 5 must be here. The 1 must be here. The 7 must be here. This is 12, so this is 8. This is 10, so this is 6. So we have fully colorified these. That's cool. What a weird way for this puzzle to unfurl. Like where this quadrant of boxes suddenly... I do need more buttons, it's true. Good night, Isaiah. Always a pleasure. So I think we know a digit here, right? Is this just a 4? So that evenifies this, which means it's 2 or 8. If it was 8, this would have to be 1, 3, which is not allowed, right? So this is 2. That makes this what? Suddenly the color is bothering me. I don't like, this is the coloring I want it to be, but the oops, somehow like oil and water logic is like is kicking in and hurting my brain. So this is 11, so this is a 9. Probably knew that anyway, right? And then this is a what, a 5, 7 pair that are both like this. So we have a little run of odds. You're also a little run of odds with a 7, 9 pair with the 7 and the 9 known. 6, the 4. These digits can't have a 1 in here because then we would need a 9. So the 1 is there, which is odd. So you're odd. So these must supposed to be even, and you must be even, which we kind of knew anyway, right? So that's a 6, 8 with the 8 there and the 6 there and the 5 there. And this is, we need a 10 with a 4, 6 with this 6 and 4 unfurled by this friend up here. What an interesting way for this to unravel. Like the puzzle is unraveling in one of these bird shapes. It's a meta. We got meta birds going on. These digits must sum to 6, and it's not 2, 4. So these are 5, 1, so they're odd. These digits must sum to 10, but they could be 3, 7, or they could be 2, 8. Probably a thing I should know. So What else do we need to do? We just need to play some digits, probably. 9. We need a 9. That's a thing we need. That oddifies this, which sees an awful lot of odd digits. That means this must be a 16. So that's kind of the... We haven't gotten many of these. Just little giveaways. Kind of knew that anyway, I guess. Places the 2 here. I've lost my parity mirroring. Or like fallen behind on it. So that means that this is the 3 and this is the 8. That places the 8 here, which evenifies the... I really like this puzzle. The way it bounces around is really cool. This could still be a 6 or an 8, I think. That's a big number. Well, it's both. This is a 6-8 pair. Uh-oh. Did I break something? Or is that just emotional support heat? This, I mean, I feel like these things are just known if I just thought about them a little bit. This is an 8. These must sum to 7. So that's a 5. Is this okay? That's a 2. I think it is. Here's 7. So this, do we already know this? I haven't like completed my reflections here. This is odd. Summing to 10, which is a 5-7, or sorry, 3-7, which we know. And then the remaining digit is the 6, which seems all fine there. These must sum to 5, but aren't 2, 3. So this is a 1-4 pair, which is even, which evenifies U. This is all the evens, so these are both odds. So we need odd digits that sum to 6, which is a 5-1. A lot of 5-1s going on. Uh-oh. Wait, what did I break? I did break something. Back it up. Wait, what am I missing here? No. This just is a 5. Because that's a 1-4 pair. Okay, we're okay. I think we're okay. That's a 1. That's a 5. That's a 1. I think we're still okay. This is a 10. Still need the 2 here, which makes these odd, even. These must just be our 3-7 summing together, which we know. This must be the remaining even digit, which is 8. And this must... Wait! I have too many evens. Oh no, what have I done? This is too many evens. Oh, I marked this. This is not even. Sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry. One is not even. I thought you went to bed. One is not even, everybody. That's a 5. It's 7, so that's a 4. Listen, first of all, 1 is kind of like an even number. The most even of odd digits is a 5, for sure. I don't know what the most odd of even digits is, though. I gotta think about that. Okay, well, that was very cool. And very fluid. I mean, this probably was the intended path. This does feel very, very deliberate. That was a cool bit of logic. I definitely, obviously, had to have some nudging towards it, but that was very useful. We didn't actually use sums as much as I might have thought at the outset. Like the sums of multiple, we probably could have more than I did actually. Like the sums of multiple fully enclosed cages. But I guess that, like, this was a very, since this was 2 high totals, that one was very inviting, and obviously these were very inviting. Background noise / comedy. I don't know. On both of those, questionable. Background comedy noise. Bowie's done with this. Bowie, are you done with the stream? I don't know if I have a, okay, Blobz, that was a, oh, that one's on Logic Masters, I think, actually, right? So we do need to enter our solve. Oh no, I gotta log into Logic Masters. Okay, let's go here for just a minute. See, I haven't done a puzzle in weeks, on stream at least. I've done a lot on my phone. Okay, and this is row 2. Row 2, solution code. Difficulty. I just call everything average. Okay. What's your newest puzzle? I'll look at it. I don't think I'm going to solve it on screen right now, but I'm glad to look at it. Is it on Logic Masters? Let's see. Switch back here. This one, the 4-fanged vampire with a 4-star difficulty. Oh no. What is this? What is this? Okay, I'm going to look at this and then tell you what it reminds me of. So there's 4 4x4s. We've got vampire cells. What an interesting conceit. Okay, I'm not going to solve this right now, but I am going to solve it. It looks super interesting. What it reminds me of is obviously one of my favorite puzzle games of all time is The Witness. I don't think that requires much explanation, but when I set out to play The Witness, I decided from the start, okay, I'm not going to I'd heard about people drawing, writing things down, cutting out shapes and whatever. And from the start, I was like, I'm going to do all this logic in my head. And the Tetris kinds of puzzles were among my favorites, the piece-fitting Tetris puzzles. And I remember getting inside the mountain and seeing something not unlike this, where there was a meta Tetris puzzle made up of smaller Tetris puzzles. And when my brain when my brain understood what that puzzle required of me, it shut down. It was like my brain was like, we can't do this right now. We're not going to do this right now. So this is giving me some flashbacks of that, of the puzzle within a puzzle thing. But it looks super cool. So I definitely will play it either next stream or I'll play it offline. But I think I'm done for the night. It's almost quiet hours. What we need to do is switch over here. Boy, where'd you go? Boy, man, what are you doing? Where's Bowie? Hi. What are you doing? You could just stream this all the time. What a good bear. So you're using heat to boop the nose? Little nose boops? Well, you're getting nose boops from heat. Okay, let's switch back here. So I probably should be a good citizen of Twitch and raid somebody, right? That's the thing I'm supposed to do that I somehow always get anxious about. Hey, Bowie, how you doing? Hi. Anyone streaming Sudoku right now? Take at most 3 hours? Oof. Okay, not ready for that right now. I don't want to use logic or logic either of them. Is Twitch gonna just yell at me if I try to look at the homepage? Okay. Okay. You're really not selling me on this puzzle. I really need to get back to am I the only one streaming in Sudoku right now? Okay, well, I'm just gonna skip it. I need to get back to like finding people that use heat and rating them, but I'm gonna skip the raid for tonight. So, all right. Well, everybody, I really appreciate everybody. 1 hour solves. That's my bread and butter is a 1 hour solve. I can't solve anything in less than an hour. Even a 20-minute solve, I can make it take an hour. Okay, I'm very curious about that puzzle. Maybe we'll take a Blobzgiving diversion tomorrow for a Isaiah brain melter. But I'll have the help of chat to click on everything and distract me. Okay, you are all the best. Thank you so much for being so kind and patient with me. Thanks everybody, all the setters, for the incredible puzzles that you do. And I plan to stream another Blobzgiving session tomorrow. So hopefully we'll see you then. Okay, good night.